Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Wednesday, the 16th of October 2024, the year of 1,000,000 transactions per second or more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's see what we got today. Everybody is talking about this. So I think this was the very first article that came out with regard to Craig Wright issues epic not Satoshi notice. What? Well, anyway, this is to do with his $911 billion claim. $911,000 billion claim. Yeah. It's a massive number. That BTC is not Bitcoin. So it's just a number of articles that I want to go through there on that one. There's also this one, the fake Satoshi, Craig Wright reignites the battle for Bitcoin legacy. Again, we'll see what that's all about. Then we've got the actual document. Truth Machine here has said that the BTC core partners have now leaked the full claim submitted by Dr. Wright against BTC core partnership. So we'll just have a look at what's in that. Then we'll go over the document. So again, people need to understand how fraudulent the entire system is, and this is not it's the entire process is illegitimate at the moment because the system was corrupted back in 1973. I mean, the fraud is just absolutely massive. And BitCrash just said here, BlackRock's warning about Craig Wright. The warning is so great that it can restrict the use of one or more digital assets, mining activity, or the operation of their networks. So we'll see what that's about. And then we got 365 days of Bitcoin history. Today in Bitcoin history was the event of the Pumpkin Lady. What was her name? Angelina Lazar. Calling Farmer Craig, Pumpkin Man Craig. Can you believe it? That happened in 2019 on the 16th of October. Loving that. So we'll just rekindle some memories there while that's going on. And that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1,000,000 strong, the transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, let's start off with this one then. So the very first article that was like straight out the gate, really. Craig Wright issues epic not Satoshi notice. So this is by Gamza Kanazadov. So, image, cover image via youtube.com. Right. In a really surprising turn of events today, a self-proclaimed Bitcoin BTC creator, again, kind of trying to deceive people there, creator Craig Wright has issued a public statement on X formally declaring that he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. Seriously. The announcement comes on the heels of a recent High Court ruling in the United Kingdom, which found the Australian scientist to have been dishonest in his claims to be the anonymous figure behind Bitcoin. Again, that is deceiving, because there were no allegations of forgery or fraud, let alone any evidence. It was the judge that purely decided based on no evidence. It was the judge's opinion. It's outrageous when you really know what's going on. So the court's damning verdict accused Wright of lying to the court extensively, which he didn't do at all, and repeatedly, forging documents on a grand scale. Again, they were put forward, there were questions, they weren't allegations or evidence at all, and creating a false narrative in support of his primary falsehood, his claim to be Satoshi Nakamoto, the enigmatic creator of the world's most famous cryptocurrency. Again, not a cryptocurrency. That's what Craig put on his Twitter profile. The High Court's order, shared partially by Wright in the new post, is clear and comprehensive. It unequivocally states that he is not the author of the Bitcoin white paper, does not own its copyright, and was not the... I mean, that's outrageous because it was the High Court that granted him the copyright of the white paper. And was not the person operating under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto between 2008 and 2011. Additionally, the court determined that Wright did not create the Bitcoin system or author the initial versions of the BTC software. But James Miller himself ruled that Craig had expended substantial skill and judgment in creating the Bitcoin file format. And that was in 2003. Yeah, I mean, You can't make a ruling that goes against an already standing ruling. That's it. Especially when there's no evidence or allegations to go on. To prevent further legal actions based on the false claims, the court has prohibited Wright from initiating any proceedings related to his claims, either directly or through proxies. Somewhat funnily, Wright is banned from even using threats of such actions. While the reason behind the sudden confession from Wright is unknown, this development may mark a dramatic conclusion to a saga that has captivated the cryptocurrency community and the public at large for years. What? That didn't actually say anything. Oh, maybe that's not the most recent one. Let's see what else they got. This must be the one. Oh, there we go. Right. My mistake. Let's have a look at this then. So self-proclaimed Satoshi Craig Wright files a £911 billion suit against BTC Core Devs and Square. Here we go. Australian computer scientist Craig Wright, self-proclaimed Satoshi, created Bitcoin SV in 2018, claiming that it was the real Bitcoin. Well, they stole the name. Yeah, the exchanges listed it. With the SV standing for Satoshi Vision. After losing the case against COPA, the Crypto Open Patent Alliance, this summer, Craig Wright has filed a lawsuit, this time without any legal support or representation. Again, Bitcoin Core and founder of Twitter and Square payments company, Jack Dorsey. The reason for this, according to sources, is that they wrongfully represented BTC as the true Bitcoin. According to sources, Wright demands almost £1 billion sterling from Bitcoin Core devs and a Dorsey Square. Bit more than that. It's almost like £1 trillion actually. What have they got here? We'll have a quick look at that. Wright versus BTC Core Partnership, 10th of October. Craig Stephen Wright as a Reverend Doctor, litigant person. I think it's BTC Core and Square Europe. Alright. Interesting. In his recent tweet, Craig Wright has also hinted that he considered filing a suit against MicroStrategy and its co-founder and executive chairman, Michael Saylor, who is also a renowned a BTC evangelist. So Craig has written here, imagine, if you will, the gathering shadows over the towering edifice of MicroStrategy. Towering edifice. I wonder if that's why he put 911. Yeah, in relation to, we know that all those involved were also involved in the downing of the Twin Towers. So he's put here. Yeah, imagine if you were the gathering shadows over the towering edifice of MicroStrategy, a company once held as a paragon of modern ambition and greed, now stands on the precipice, its leaders clinging desperately to illusions of invincibility. The shareholders, those supposed defenders of rational self-interest, remain blissfully unaware that their chosen captain, Michael Saylor, steers their ship towards the very rocks that could shatter it utterly and irreparably. It is a lawsuit, a looming spectre with even the slimmest chance, a mere 1% to succeed, but such a chance is no triviality. In the unforgiving realm of reality, a single error in judgment, a miscalculation of risk, could undo all that has been built. Oh, sounds good, loving this. This legal threat, if realised, holds the potential to drag the company into ruin, to bankrupt it, not once, but multiple times. And yet the shareholders slumber, lulled by the sweet deceptions of their leaders, turning their eyes away from the stark reality. Oh, what was that about? No partners there? No, the partners think on that. Not just developers, all parties. Very good. The self-proclaimed Satoshi tweet, the shareholders, those opposed to defenders of rational self-interest, remain blissfully unaware that their chosen captain Michael Saylor steers the ship towards the very rocks that could shatter it utterly and irreparably. Juicy stuff. All right, let's go on to the next article then. This is in investing.com. Self-proclaimed Satoshi Craig Wright files £911 billion suit against BTC core devs and Square. Oh, so they're actually reporting on the U Today article that we've just gone through. U Today says Australian computer scientist Craig Wright, a self-proclaimed Satoshi, created Bitcoin. I think they just, article was originally published by U Today. Great. Okay, just read that one then. And what's this one? B in crypto. Craig Wright files £911 billion lawsuit against Bitcoin Core and Square over Bitcoin in integrity. All right then, let's have a look. Craig Wright, the Australian computer scientist who claims to have created Bitcoin, there's a lot of this, claims to have created Bitcoin, has filed a new lawsuit regarding the top digital asset. On October 11th, a High Court case tracker revealed that Wright's legal actions targets Bitcoin Core, the technology behind Bitcoin's distribution, and Square. He later clarified on X that he is suing not just the Bitcoin Core devs, but also all affiliated parties. Wright files a £911 billion claim against Bitcoin Core. Wright's lawsuit seeks approximately £911 billion from Bitcoin Core and Square. He alleges that they misrepresented Bitcoin BTC as the genuine version of the digital asset espoused by Satoshi Nakamoto, the developer of the top crypto. Again, it's not crypto, but whatever. Notably, Wright is representing himself in this case, identifying as a litigant in person. In a post on X, Wright expressed his willingness to debate any official representative of the Bitcoin Core. He emphasized that if Bitcoin Core could prove it adheres to the original concept of Bitcoin, as outlined by Nakamoto, he would drop all litigation immediately. Wright insists that honesty is paramount and demands on no obfuscation or evasions, only the unvarnished truth. Wright argues that the top crypto should not serve the interests of the powerful. He believes Nakamoto designed Bitcoin as an electronic cash for small, casual transactions, a well-defined and documented version. He then challenged Bitcoin Core to demonstrate their commitment to these principles. Quotes here, so he said, if Bitcoin Core wishes to assert that they are the true continuation of Bitcoin, they must do so openly and transparently, and they must do it on the basis of the original design. The burden of proof is theirs. If they can demonstrate through fact and reason that they have upheld the principles of small peer-to-peer transactions of decentralized electronic cash system, then I will have no need to continue my lawsuit, Wright states. Oh, I wonder what they're going to do. It says, the issue at hand is not about who Satoshi is, but whether BTC Core has adhered to those original foundational principles. This debate is about the integrity of Bitcoin's design, not the identity of its creator, Wright added. It's important to note that a UK court previously ruled against Wright, stating that he is not a Bitcoin developer and that he has extensively misrepresented this claim. Following this ruling, a legal notice on Wright's website now states that he is not Satoshi and has been ordered to cease any further legal actions based on these false claims. The lawsuit comes shortly after Wright threatened to sue MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor for allegedly misrepresenting Bitcoin. Wright accused Saylor of suggesting that BTC aligns with the original Bitcoin white paper. It remains unclear whether this threat is related to a recent lawsuit. I mean, I wonder if Michael Saylor is actually going to look into this now. I mean, can you imagine if he actually looked at the code and was just like, hold on a minute, he might be right. Hold on a minute, he is right. Craig is right. Absolutely. Let's have a look at this. Coin Tribune. So they've said the fake Satoshi Craig Wright reignites the battle for Bitcoin's legacy. Craig Wright, the self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto, intensifies his legal battle against the Bitcoin ecosystem. Despite a crushing defeat in the UK court, Wright is engaging in a new confrontational stance against Bitcoin Core developers, demanding an astronomical sum exceeding $1 trillion for the alleged authorized use of the BTC ticker. That's right. The alleged Satoshi relaunches his offensive against Bitcoin Core. The conflict between Craig Wright and the Bitcoin community intensifies with this new lawsuit. Wright, who has never been able to prove his claim of being the creator of Bitcoin, is now targeting Bitcoin Core developers and Square Up Europe Limited. He accuses them of using the BTC ticker without his consent, an allegation that raises many eyebrows in the crypto ecosystem. The extent of the compensation demanded, £911 billion, testifies to Wright's audacity. This staggering amount illustrates the scale of the Australian engineer's ambitions. Notably, Wright has chosen to represent himself in this case, a decision that adds an extra layer of intrigue to this legal saga. The motivations behind the lawsuit. Wright claims that this new lawsuit aims to save the origins of Bitcoin. He accuses Bitcoin core developers of rewriting the narrative and altering the original version of crypto. In a provocative statement, he says he's ready to drop any legal action if Bitcoin Core can provide its fidelity to Satoshi Nakamoto's initial concept. Unusually, Craig Wright has chosen to represent himself in this case without the assistance of lawyers. This decision raises questions about his legal strategy, especially since Judge Mellor previously warned that any new legal action based on his allegations would be considered hollow rhetoric. This new legal offensive comes in an already tense context. Wright recently suffered a crushing defeat in the British courts, where Judge James Miller ruled that he had no legal rights over Bitcoin. Despite this overwhelming decision, Wright persists in his claim, even promising further lawsuits against iconic figures in the Bitcoin ecosystem, including Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy. Craig Wright's lawsuit against Bitcoin Core marks a new step in the controversial crusade. While the crypto community remains skeptical about his chances of success, this case raises critical questions about the governance and evolution of Bitcoin. Maximize your contributing experience with our Read to Earn program. For every article you read and earn points, the access exclusive rewards, sign up and start earning benefits. Interesting. They could do that with micropayments, really. Paying people to read their articles. How crazy is that? Right, so let's have a look at this. And so Truth Machine has just said that BTC Core Partners have now leaked the full claim submitted by Dr. Wright against the BTC Core Partnership. Here it is. I mean, what a joke. It's just got a seal there with an ink stamp. What a joke. But anyway, brief details of the claim. Please see below. This claim addresses the wrongful passing off of BTC as Bitcoin. The defendants have, without authorization, altered the original Bitcoin protocol, introducing modifications such as SegWit and Taproot that fundamentally deviate from the original system as defined by Satoshi Nakamoto in the Bitcoin white paper. These modifications have led to a misrepresentation of BTC as the original Bitcoin, resulting in confusion within the market. The true version of Bitcoin, represented by BSV, adheres strictly to the original protocol and vision of a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The defendants' actions have misled the public into believing that BTC retains the attributes of the original Bitcoin, causing significant reputational damage and loss of market value to BSV. Estimated value of the claim at £911,050 pounds. Billion, 911 and 50 billion pounds. This is based on the difference in market valuation between Bitcoin, BSV. I love the way exactly Bitcoin, BSV at £50 per unit and the BTC at £48,000 per unit, reflecting the financial impact of misrepresentation and resulting market loss. A huge number there, huge number. What's this? I believe the facts stated in this claim form and any attached sheet are true. Signature, Craig S. Wright. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this. So, nature of vulnerability. I'm diagnosed with autism. Alright. Requested adjustments. Estimated damages. Let's have a look. The claimant seeks damages for the financial losses suffered as a result of the passing off and misrepresentation of the filing date. BTC holds a market capitalization that significantly exceeds that of BSV, with valuations often hundreds of times greater. This inflated value has been secured through defendants' misleading conduct and deviation from the original Bitcoin protocol. Taking into account the extensive losses to BSV's valuation and market opportunities, as well as the damage to its goodwill and reputation as the true digital cash system, the claimant estimates the damages in order of several £billion. This estimate reflects the loss of market share, investment opportunities, and overall undervaluation of BSV in comparison to BTC, all attributed to the defendant's misrepresentation and passing off of activities. This claim seeks not only a financial redress, but also as a declaration that the defendants have engaged in misleading conduct, causing significant harm to the claimant's interests and the broader Bitcoin ecosystem as envisioned by the white paper. The court's intervention is necessary to prevent the further misrepresentation and to restore the claimant's rightful position as the true continuation of Bitcoin. Absolutely. Brief details of the passing off BTC misrepresentations as Bitcoin. The claimant, Dr. Craig Stephen Wright, who maintains business activities and investment associated with the original Bitcoin protocol, now through Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, brings this action for passing off fraudulent misrepresentation, breaches of consumer protection law, and facilitation of money laundering against the defendants. The defendants have altered the foundational Bitcoin software to create a derivative product, absolutely, while BTC misrepresenting it to the public as Bitcoin. Such actions have confused consumers, investors, and the broader market, damaging the reputation, goodwill, and market value of BSV, which represents the only true continuation of the original Bitcoin protocol as set forth in Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper. Satoshi's original protocol and misrepresentation by BTC. The original Bitcoin, as defined by Satoshi Nakamoto, was designed as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, a system for transparent, traceable, and scalable transactions aimed at everyday use. This protocol was set in stone and unchangeable, creating a reliable basis upon which business, developers, and others could build. The defendants, however, have implemented significant changes to the protocol, such as segregated witness, SegWit, Taproot, and other modifications that deviate fundamentally from Bitcoin's original principles, turning BTC into a speculative asset that diverges from the vision of a scalable digital cash system. Actually, what I think the argument should be is that it is converted BTC from a commodity into a security. That's the real issue here. So being a security, it's worthless. That's it. Despite these changes, the defendants have engaged in a systematic campaign of misrepresentation, falsely presenting BTC as a legitimate successor to the original Bitcoin. This conduct constitutes fraudulent misrepresentation under English law. The elements of fraudulent misrepresentation are clear. The defendants made a false statement about BTC's nature, knowing that these statements were misleading, intending to induce investors, users, and businesses into accepting BTC as Bitcoin. This deception has caused direct harm to the reputation and market position of BSV, leading to a substantial loss in market value and goodwill. Fraudulent misrepresentation and deception. The claimant asserts that the defendant's actions meet the criteria of fraudulent misrepresentation, as established under the Misrepresentation Act 1967. The defendants knew, or ought to have known, that BTC's protocol modifications rendered it fundamentally different from the original Bitcoin, and worthless, it should say. Yet they continue to promote BTC as Bitcoin, leading investors and the public to mistakenly believe that BTC adhered to the same principles and values outlined in the Bitcoin white paper. By doing so, the defendants intentionally misled the market, inducing participants to invest in BTC under a false impression of its legitimacy as the original Bitcoin. This fraudulent behavior extends to the deliberate confusion created in the market. The passing off element of this claim arises from the defendant's appropriation of the name Bitcoin for a system that no longer aligns with the characteristics of the original Bitcoin. The market has been misled into believing that BTC represents continuity with Satoshi Nakamoto's creation, resulting in financial and representational harm to BSV, which has retained the original system's integrity. Breach of consumer protection laws is actually quite good. The defendant's conduct further breaches the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations 2008. That's CPRs, which make it unlawful to engage in misleading commercial practices. The representation of BTC as Bitcoin constitutes a misleading action under Regulation 5, as it creates a false impression regarding the nature and quality of the product offered to consumers. Such actions are considered unfair trading, as they distort the economic behavior of consumers by causing them to choose BTC under the belief that it remains aligned with the Bitcoin's original values. Under Regulation 5, a commercial practice is misleading if it contains false information or deceives or is likely to deceive the average consumer, causing them to make a transactional decision they would not have otherwise made. The defendant's false claim about BTC's continuity with Bitcoin have led consumers to invest in BTC, believing it to be the true version of Bitcoin, which in turn has caused substantial harm to BSV's market position and valuation. Oh, this is great. Facilitation of money laundering and criminal implications. Additionally, the modification introduced by the defendants, including SegWit and Taproot, have facilitated anonymity rather than transparency, enabling BTC to be used as a tool for money laundering and evading know your customer requirements. This stands in direct contradiction to the principles set out in Bitcoin's original design, which emphasizes traceability and accountability. Unlike the transparent and verifiable nature of Bitcoin as originally intended, BTC's alterations have created avenues for concealing transactions through off-chain mechanisms like Lightning Network, which were introduced with a clear focus on enabling untraceable transactions. Such activities may breach Section 328 of the Proceeds of Crime Act 2002, which criminalised the facilitation of money laundering by providing services or creating conditions that enable the concealment of funds. By making changes that enable coin mixing and obfuscated transactions, the defendants have effectively provided a platform for illegal activities, damaging the reputation of Bitcoin as a lawful, transparent digital cash system. This shift from a traceable electronic cash model to an anonymity-focused system has severely harmed Bitcoin's public perception, tarnishing the reputation and goodwill that was established through Satoshi Nakamoto's original creation. Authorized alteration of the protocol and breach of authority. The defendants' removal of Gavin Andresen, who Satoshi Nakamoto appointed as the custodian of the protocol, and their subsequent seizure of control over the software repository further underscore the unauthorized nature of their actions. The defendants' conduct in assuming control over the protocol and implementing changes such as SegWit without any legitimate right to do so represent a breach of equitable principles. Such actions are also potentially unlawful under computer misuse statutes, including the Computer Misuse Act 1990, as they involve unauthorized access to and modification of digital systems. Oh, this is great. We'll just finish with a conclusion here. The defendants' unauthorized control over the repository and the subsequent modifications to the Bitcoin's protocol without consent from the wider community and stakeholders violate the principles of estoppel, which protect the reliance interests of those who built on the original protocol stability. These modifications have altered the nature of the Bitcoin ecosystem, creating a separate product that is improperly marketed as the true Bitcoin, misleading the market and causing significant damage to BSV's reputation and market position. Conclusion: comprehensive claims for passing off, fraudulent misrepresentation, consumer protection, breaches and facilitation of money laundering. The claimant seeks to hold the defendants accountable for their wrongful passing off, fraudulent misrepresentation, breaches of consumer protection law, and actions that have facilitated money laundering. The defendants' modifications to the original Bitcoin protocol and subsequent misrepresentations of BTC as Bitcoin have caused direct and severe damage to BSV's market valuation and reputation. The estimated value of this claim is $911,050 million, reflecting the difference in market valuation between Bitcoin BSV and BTC and the financial impact of the defendants' deceptive practices. The claimant seeks appropriate compensation and injunctive relief to address the ongoing harm and prevent further misrepresentation and misuse of the Bitcoin name. Oh, that was juicy stuff. Seriously juicy stuff. Loving that. But let's look at this form that's gone in. So I posted here, I said, FYI for your information, using Crown Copyright Coat of Arms is fraud in an incorporated administrative court. So the fact is, the court here has used this, and you see down the bottom it says Crown Copyrighted 2022. Well, the court itself is actually has been incorporated since the 1994 Crown Agents Act, where Tony Blair moved all Crown Agents under the Companies Act, including all courts. So courts are actually now private for-profit corporations with shareholders. They're not acting in the public interest. So therefore, a private corporation cannot use the coat of arms. So that's what I'm saying. That's fraud. They've not signed it, which is why they just simply put an administration stamp on it. And a seal is meant to be like an embossed seal, like literally like a wax seal Whereas literally all they've done is just stamp this thing, and being in all capitals here, written SEAL, is removed from the document. It's American Sign Language. So this again, I mean, the entire process is an absolute joke, as I've said there. But you know, let's just keep our fingers crossed that Craig knows what he's doing. BitCrash is also said here, so BlackRock warning about Craig Wright. He said the warning is so great that it can, quote here, restrict the use of one or more digital assets, mining activity, or the operation of their networks. So let's have a look at this. So this is under table of contents. Regulatory changes or actions in foreign jurisdictions may affect the value of the shares or restrict the use of one or more digital assets, mining activity, or the operation of their networks, or the digital asset exchange market in a manner that adversely affects the value of the shares. And then further outlined here in yellow. Furthermore, legal claims have been filed in the United Kingdom by an entity associated with the individual named Craig Wright. And then down here it says that if a court decides to grant the relief requested, it is possible that wide-ranging and fundamental changes to the source code, operations and governance of, and basic principles underlying the Bitcoin network might be required, and a loss of public confidence in the Bitcoin network could result. Alternatively, Bitcoin could face obstacles to use, or in the United Kingdom, obstacles to use, or in the United Kingdom, which could reduce adoption. Courts in other jurisdictions could make similar take similar positions. These or other possible outcomes could lead to a decrease in the value of BTC, which could negatively impact the value of the shares. Again, so their share prices again, built on this fraud. It's shocking. Oh, that's 31 minutes gone already. So check this out. On the 16th of October, Pumpkin Lady incident at the London CC Forum. I think it's Cryptocurrency Forum. Angelina Lazar, called Craig, Farmer Craig, Pumpkin Man Craig. This was hilarious. And I think I've got a link to a video over here. So let's see what this is like.
I'm actually not sure why anybody was clapping at any point. I'm actually not sure why Mr. Wright was given a stage. He just admitted that he did not write the Satoshi white paper. He just admitted earlier that
I know this is real.
He's no public.
Exactly. Ideas are when we have another thought, you can
trying to crash Bitcoin.
the same way you can choose not to have anything to do with the internet.
That's exactly what you want. You are a mole trying to crash Bitcoin. Farmer Craig, Pumpkin Man Craig, go back to your farm, your pumpkins and your tomatoes, and grow a super farm.
Sorry, with that I created it.
That was hilarious. That was it. What a moment in history that was. So there we go. That is a 33-minute show. Hope you enjoyed it. So we'll leave it there. So as ever, if you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Sentme.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, Rockwallet.me or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.